Masaya mag-aral ng sensya with Sir Alvin Miranda.
Hello learners! Welcome back to my class. In this video, you will learn about heat transfer. Are you ready to learn? Let's go! In understanding the concept of heat transfer, let us first define the word heat. Heat or thermal energy is a form of energy that can be transferred from one object to another due to the difference in their temperature. Heat is simply called as energy in transit. For instance, if you put a pot of water over a stove, the pot of water becomes hot, and after a time, the water starts boiling. The stove produces fire, and the energy produced by the fire is transferred to the pot, then transferred to the water. This process is called the heat transfer. Heat transfer refers to how energy moves from point A to point B. Heat naturally transfers from high temperature object to low temperature object. Remember, only the energy is being transferred and not the particles of the matter. Heat transfer occurs in three ways, which includes conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's start with conduction. Conduction takes place between objects that are in contact with each other. Conduction happens most effectively in solid materials. For instance, a metal spoon is placed over a flame. After some time, the spoon will heat up entirely. The energy from the flame causing the particles within the spoon to vibrate, and that is transferring energy from one particle to another until the entire spoon warms up. The metal spoon conducts heat better and considered as a good conductor. Conductors are materials that allow the transfer of heat or thermal energy like metals. That's why most of our cooking wares are made up of metals. On the other hand, there are materials that conduct heat poorly and are called insulators. Insulators are materials that do not allow the transfer of heat or thermal energy easily, such as glass, rubber, and plastics. That's why we use pot holder made of fabrics to grasp the metal handle to prevent our hands from being burned. Next is convection. Convection is a heat transfer between fluids such as liquids and gases of different temperature, which involves mass movement of the fluid. For example, when you boil water, the water at the bottom increases in temperature and becomes hot, while the water at the top has a lower temperature and colder. Because of the heat, water particles at the bottom expand and start to rise. Replacing the hot water that rises, water particles at the top sink. This is also due to the differences in density. Density refers to how tightly packed matter is. Matter with lower density will rise and matter with higher density will sink. Lastly is radiation. Radiation is a heat transfer in the absence of matter or through space. It is a heat transfer by wave motion. A great example of radiation is the heat of the sun. We experience the heat of the sun even it comes from the outer space because it does not require a medium to propagate. Here are some keywords you need to remember in each type of heat transfer. Can you tell me what type of heat transfer happens in each following situation? And that ends our video for today. Thank you for watching. Until next time.